If you take a man and give him a life shielded from problems that he never has any to face, I guarantee you he's terrible at being a man. The best men in the world have gone through shit. That's why women love scars, because it didn't kill you. That's the whole point of it, right? So the best thing you can do as a man is look and go, okay, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. I feel negative because these are all so difficult. I'm struggling with X, Y, Z. Let me internalize all of that and turn it into a superpower. Let me become genuinely uncomfortable with my situation in life and go and fix things. Because like I said, the universe is absolutely and utterly very giving. And if you truly hated being in the position you were in, you wouldn't be there very long. Yeah. Every time I feel stressed or under pressure, I get excited. I hate to not be stressed. I wake up and I'm like, everything's good. Yes. Like, that's just how I am, right? It's how you look at the problems and how you use them to fuel you. So the question was, what's the problem for the average man today? What's the biggest problem? I think there's a whole host of problems. But what you have to do is frame it inside of your mind and understand that all of those problems are going to allow you, give you the fuel, the unlimited motivation that you need to become a successful and beautiful individual if you frame it in the right way. The biggest problem that men face isn't the problems themselves, it's just the way they've been taught to mentally frame issues. People think when bad things happen to them that somehow they're a victim to the universe and bad things only happen to me and this is so terrible. They don't understand that bad things happen to everybody, and the most successful person you know had all those, maybe even worse, at least the same bad things happened to them. They just framed it differently and used it. That's the difference. So I don't pray for an easy life. I pray for a life of difficulty that allows me to become a better and better person. I pray to become more competent to handle problems. I pray to put myself in a position where if the mass media machine attempts its very best to destroy my life, I can laugh and smile from my villa in Dubai. This is who I pray to become. I don't pray that nobody hurts me. I pray to be able to fight. So it's just a different mentality. I think a lot of people build their mindsets around trying to feel good. People who want to ignore the idea of personal responsibility or self-accountability because they feel better if they pretend it's not a real thing. They feel better if they pretend everything's someone else's fault. A lot of people's mental model and how they view the world is based around them feeling as good as possible. So people are basing their mindsets around trying to feel good. I have always tried to base my mindset around absolute competence regardless of how I feel. And there are certainly disadvantages to that. There are times you're going to be a lot more pessimistic, or you're going to be a lot more stressed, or a lot more, pissed off about certain things than others. Yeah, that can be seen as a downside. But like I said, I use all of those things for unlimited motivation to propel my endless upward trajectory. But if you construct a mindset that allows you to be as competent as possible, as opposed to feel any different or feel better, then you're going to naturally come to the conclusions I've come to. You're as competent as possible if you believe you can affect absolutely everything about your life. You're as competent as possible if you believe absolutely everything that's happened to you, whether good or bad, is completely your fault. You're as competent as possible if you believe the bad things that happen to you are going to allow you to work harder and become even better. When bad things happen to me, the first thing out of my mouth is good. Good. Andrew, they took $10 million out of the bank because they canceled you. Good. Good. That's just my response. Good. Andrew, this happened. Good. Good, good. Now I'm really pissed. Good. This mindset I've constructed allows me to be as fearsome a competitor as possible. It allows me to be a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor, and that's the point of a mindset. Why would you have a mental model or a mentality that made you anything less? In the ultra-competitive world that we've just discussing that everybody wants the things you have, why would you absorb information or construct a mental model that doesn't allow you to be as competitive as possible? I am a feared competitor in anything I do. Anyone who's up against me at anything is going to feel a degree of nervousness just because it's me. It doesn't matter what it is. If you say, look, you're going to go learn how to play piano, and you're going to play against someone else who's never played piano, and you're going to learn, and that guy's Andrew Tate. You're going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake. I can't even play piano. But part of them is going to be like, oh, not Tate. Even though I have no piano experience, because they just know me. They know my mindset. They know my determination. They know I'm stubborn. They know I don't quit. They know I'm going to win. That's just who I am. So I've constructed a mental model that allows me to be competent and to always succeed. And that's how I've come to the conclusions I've come to. And I truly, once again, don't understand how people go through the world with any other mental model. I get asked all the time, but what do you feel? Or what about happiness or depression? That doesn't even, how I feel doesn't cross my mind. I don't know how else to explain it. There are days where I'm pissed off or sad or happy. It doesn't cross my mind. It's just like, I woke up, whatever mood I happen to be in, I have things I need to do. It's a busy day. Zuby's here soon. I need to go training before he gets here. I had a meeting with the bank at 7:15 a.m. I have shit to do. I didn't cross my mind if I was happy, sad, excited. I just had to work. Yeah. So I think my mental model, to a degree, I'm certainly not a person who doesn't feel emotions, because we're all human. I certainly do. But I've never prioritized them in any regard. I haven't built a mental model that affects, I haven't put them in the middle of my mental model and then affected my actions based on how I feel for each one. It's absolutely and completely the opposite. I would love to do a podcast on a day where I'm particularly sad and a podcast on a day when I'm particularly happy. And I guarantee you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So that's what allows me to be competitive, right? Because if you're competitive, if you want to be the most competitive predator on the planet, you have to be able to hunt in the day and the night. You have to be able to do both. You have to be able to perform when you're happy and sad. You can't only be able to perform when you're happy. You can't only go to the gym when you're motivated. You can't only be a competent person when your life's going well, because when your life's not going well, you're no longer competent. Then you're going to lose to people like me. And it's player versus player. If you're the kind of person who can only do well when you're happy and you're competing against someone like me who can do well all the time, guess what? You lose. So my mental model, the answer is most of my opinions are just based around constructing a mental model that allows me to be brutally competitive. It's why I say depression isn't real. I've argued this point endlessly, and I try and explain to people, but they're not smart enough to understand that I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't care. I am more competitive as an individual if I don't believe I can become depressed. So I don't give a fuck if I'm right or wrong, because no matter what bad happens to me in my life, even if, heaven forbid, the worst things on earth that could happen to me, I could never become clinically depressed, because I would never self-diagnose myself as clinically depressed, because I don't believe in it. I believe that I am currently sad, but I have work to do, and eventually I will feel better. I will never get to a point of absolute desperation and kill myself, because I'm never gonna get to a point of hopelessness, because I don't believe in the idea of hopelessness. You cannot try and make me adopt thinking that will reduce my competitiveness as an individual. So I don't give a fuck if I'm wrong. I don't believe in it. That's it. End of story. So I don't believe in things that take power away from me. I don't believe in things that make me less competitive, and I don't adopt mental models that make me less competitive. Every single mental model I have are the most efficient ones I could find. They're the mental model I found that if I adopt, I become a more fearsome predator. That's it. So this is how I've come to all of my conclusions as an individual.
If the ocean doesn't reach a point of equal and opposite force, it will just engulf the entire planet, right? There has to be an equal and opposite force at some point. I'm not talking about freeing every single person from the matrix. I'm talking about freeing enough people who are ready to understand how the world really works, so that there is an equal and opposite force to the tirade of bullshit, the absolute clown world bullshit they're trying to push on all of us. If nobody stands up to it, we're gonna end up just swallowing it all. It's garbage. So you need to have an equal army on the other side. Money is certainly related to power, but the true power of the world is influence. I am currently one of the most powerful people on the planet. I can influence millions and millions and millions of young people with my mouth alone by speaking. That's why they fear me. And every single thing that's happening in the world today, whether it's a pitched battle, all of it is done with the goal of exerting influence on your mind. They're trying to control what you think. They're trying to control why you think it, why you believe it. They're trying to convince you that they haven't even put propaganda into your mind. And it's all a battle for influence. That's all this has ever been. Most people are not smart enough. Most people are not intelligent enough to self-analyze and defrag their own brains and understand they're being programmed. You didn't like me, for example. I don't like Andrew Tate. Why? Well, they told me not to like him. Who told me? Well, these people. Do they care about me? No. Most people don't get an opinion and break down where it even comes from. They just get an opinion and they defend it. And you'll see people arguing and fighting in the street over opinions they don't even know where they've come from in the first place. Most people are not intelligent enough for that. So everybody and everything you consume is going to influence you to a degree. The mass media machine is trying to influence everyone. I'm trying to influence everyone. I'm right here trying to influence people. I'll sit here and say, I'm trying to influence people at home. I did not say that girls above a certain age are horrible people. I did not say girls above a certain age are useless. I said girls above a certain age are less attractive than girls who are younger because of innocence. I'm talking about the Western world. And in the Western world, there's no girl at age, I don't know, 32 in Las Vegas who is pure. Not a single one on the planet. So we can't sit here and apply what I'm talking about for the Western world to the Middle Eastern world. I'm under attack every single day. They're attacking my character. They're attacking my integrity. They're attacking my finances. They're attacking my freedom. They're attacking my companies. Every single day I wake up and there are people on the planet whose goal is to attempt to destroy me. So I am under attacks. I was kind of up and down. I was working in the fish market, but I was still fighting at the same time. I was training. Obviously, I was really young. Started to make a little bit of money fighting, but not much. And then I had different jobs. I sold television advertising and worked for an advertising company, etc. And I had my own business for a while trying to sell TV advertising, and I had a bunch of sales jobs back and forth, worked for car sales. I'd always been doing this and that, going from place to place. Unless it was a sales job, I never really took it that seriously because it was the unlimited commission that I found attractive. But outside of sales jobs, I just did my very best. I did a whole bunch of things. It's been an eclectic, long, interesting journey. So I grew up with a bunch of very close Muslim friends, and I've always been not envious, but certainly I've had a large amount of adoration for their respect for their families, respect for their culture, their brotherhood, the way they operate. I've always thought it's the fantastic way to be. God knows the truth of our hearts. So I know that my reversion is sincere. I understand that because I'm in the public eye, there's going to be some degree of people who question it, but I know that mine's completely sincere, and the people who do it in a non-sincere way, God knows the truth, and they're not going to be able to fool him, so good luck. And someone else said to me, they said that it's important that someone like you that has all of the worldly treasures or everything that you could possibly ever wish for in this world still understands the importance of believing in God. I have a very small circle, but every single one of my friends has a utility. Like, we're all very capable individuals. We're all doing very important things. We all help each other and aid each other in different ways. I don't have any friends just to sit around and talk shit and do nothing. I guess in many ways people would say, oh, well, Andrew, you have family and business partners, but I consider them my friends. We have a very small network of 5, maybe 6 people, and yeah, they're my friends. I'm not the kind of person who can fall victim to some random stroking my ego, and I'm not a dummy. Like, I know a lot of people get rich and they're dummies. That's not me. I don't have any new friends. I have the same circle I've always had. In fact, it's getting smaller by the day. It gets smaller, not bigger. I don't have these random friends I party with, none of this kind of crap. I provide value by default, by being me. That's who I am. If you're going to be my friend, you need to provide some value to my life. Now, a lot of people, when they have friends, the value that's provided by their friend is that their friend makes them laugh or that their friend is funny. Well, I don't need that crap. I'm busy, right? So I need someone who's actually useful to me, a real thing. It's not a shallow way to look at it, because people say that's shallow. Not at all. I think that in true friendship, in true relationships, whether it's man-woman or man-man or woman-woman, there needs to be an exchange of value. People need to both gain and receive value, and that's how you build true friendships. So you need to become useful to me. And the problem with doing that is that I already have extremely useful people around me. We can already do everything. I don't need anybody. So when someone comes and goes, hey, I'd love to know you, why? What do you want to do? Sit around, talk shit? What do you want to do? Like I'm trying to do X, Y, Z. I'm fighting the Matrix. Can you fight the Matrix? Can you fight? If they can't do anything, I don't want to hang around with them.
There's a time when it comes to work smart, and most people are trying to do the smart work before they do the hard work. It's kind of like talent. You don't notice if you're talented at something until all the hard work's done. I could be the most talented tennis player in the world, but I don't play tennis. So if I go down the tennis court, Joe Schmo is going to smoke me. I don't get to see my talent until I've worked so hard that I'm in the top 1%, and now I'm beating them because I have some God-given gift. You have to do the hard work first. If there's no hard work, there's no smart work. So someone's gonna sit there and go, I work smart, I don't work hard, so I only have to work an hour a day. If working smart gets you a lot done in an hour a day, then you should work smart for 12 hours a day and get 12 times the work done. I am absolutely and utterly a believer in hard work. I'm a proponent of hard work. I have all this money and all I do is work. My entire life is work. This podcast is work. I'm getting in the car and going to another meeting, work. It's all work. My entire life is work. And people don't want to look at life that way. They want to talk about work-life balance and being lazy and all this crap. I don't believe in any of that. I believe in, if you want to win, you have to outcompete the man who's prepared to do nothing but work. It's player versus player. If you're going to sit there and go, I don't want to work more than an hour a day, well, the guy who does want to work more than an hour a day is going to beat you. And no matter how smart you are, there's always a smart dude who's doing the same smart work you are for more hours than you're doing it. That's just the nature of the game. And this is why we talk about things like passive income. Passive income's a scam. I'm tired of people coming to me saying, I want to make passive income. And I sit there and say, it's not about it being a scam. It's about the mentality towards it is a scam. Look, everyone loves passive money, right? I make money as I sleep. I get it. You need to de-link your time to your money, because if you're only working for money, you run out of time, you can't make enough money. I understand all those principles. My point is, if you have no money and you're coming to me saying, I want to make passive income, why are you not making active income? Get up off your ass and work first. Because there's no such thing as completely, truly 100% passive. You're gonna have to check on it. You have to maintain it. But the idea that people with no money are already so concerned with making money without work is amazing to me. You should be worried about active income.